Was Leonardo da Vinci homosexual? In my last video, I discussed how the men of Renaissance Florence were so renowned for sodomy that the word Florenza in German meant sodomite. Naturally, it raised a lot of interesting questions, and some, like this one, were asking about Da Vinci's romantic life. While he certainly would not have called himself a homosexual, as the term did not exist yet, he was being investigated by the Ufficiale di Notte, the Office of the Night. This is the specific magistrate set up solely with the purpose of rooting out sodomy, which underscores just how obsessed the state was with this issue. In 1476, an anonymous tip-off suggested that 24-year-old Leonardo had sodomized 17-year-old Jacopo Saltarelli. Leonardo was briefly imprisoned, but the case was ultimately dismissed. Even 30 years after Da Vinci died, Giorgio Vasari, in his book The Lives of Artists, wrote that he was besotted with his male assistant, Salai. Michael Rock's book, Forbidden Friendships, suggests that Leonardo's case was not an anomaly, but rather a reflection of a widely practiced male culture. The evidence in his book shows that 17,000 men in a city with a total population of 40,000 were investigated for sodomy. That's why Rock says this wasn't something happening amongst a small minority, but rather it was actually an integral part to normal male culture in Renaissance Florence. There's also the argument that these cases could have included repeat offenders, and that the data doesn't actually guarantee or specifically verify that these individuals were having same-sex relationships. So that side of the camp would ask, is it really fair to say that most men in Renaissance Florence at some point in their life were implicated in a same-sex relationship? But here's the thing, we have the evidence, so why not assume that these individuals were engaging in same-sex relations? Furthermore, what about those who weren't caught? Those that aren't in the data? Because there could be numerous more cases that we're just not aware of. So I guess this begs the question, when looking at history, does our modern bias force us to assume a heterosexual landscape instead of a homosexual landscape?